My name is Anis, and I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. I started first experiencing bruising. They were not just little bruises, they were big bruises that came out of nowhere. The headaches that started with a tingling of numbness, it started getting worse and worse. I was in the emergency room every week. I was trying my best to function, meanwhile trying to find out what was wrong with me because I knew something wasn't right. I started seeing my primary care doctor, and he didn't know what to do. And also seeing my oncologist, hematologist, I had already had from a prior rare cancer diagnosis. He wasn't listening to me when I was telling him my symptoms. He started doing biopsies of my bone marrow. He told me that they were normal. And he misdiagnosed me with ITP and started me on a treatment the next day because my platelets were 13,000.
Each doctor, every place she went, they would tell her this, that, and the other. We'd come home a couple of days, then we'd be back.
I was staying at my mother's house after having the treatment that he had put me on. And I got up and got dressed. I was in excruciating pain. I started throwing up, and my mother called, and she said I was barely responding. So she called my sister and told her, stop whatever you're doing, get over to the house, call 911.
I was terrified. I knew that just looking at her, she was dying, and I could have lost her within minutes.
They asked me to leave a sample of urine. And when I went to leave a sample of urine, it was black cherry color, tarry. It was not normal. The on-call hematologist came in and spoke with my mother and told her I'm meeting the markers of ATTP. He said he wanted to do draw a couple more labs, but they would take a couple of days. But he needed to go ahead and start treatment because I only had 12 hours to live. Was talking to the doctor, and the nurse was there, and I just started feeling numb. And the numbness went all the way from the tip of my toes all the way up through my body. And then my face drooped. I felt it droop. I stayed in the hospital for 4 weeks. I was told I had a rare, deadly blood disorder called ATTP. There was no cure. I was coming back more into my mind, and I was able to use my phone. And I started hashtagging TTP and started sharing my story. Afro-Latina and African-American women I've spoke with, I've met during this journey, that story is the same. We were not listened to, even though we had labs that showed we had TTP, or the doctors just don't know what it is. Going forward, I want to bring awareness to ATTP. I want to be a voice for the ones who don't want to talk about this story because it's traumatizing. The ones that don't know how to talk about their story. The ones who thought that they were alone. What I've learned through all of this is that you have to advocate for yourself. TTP is my story, but it's not me. I learned how to take my power back. By doing that, I came up with the acronyms for TTP, for trust the process, trust the progress, think the positive, trust the prayer, take the power. I won't let it win.